and welcome to episode 1 of the brand new Uncomfortable Truth podcast. I am so pumped that you're here. But before I get into anything else, thank you. Genuinely. Thank you for listening while you're folding laundry, or driving carpool, or out on a walk with your headphones on. Now, the way you guys have shown up for this thing already is honestly blowing my mind. And I'll be real with you. I'm not great at accepting stuff, compliments, gifts, help, whatever. It's just not my default setting. So the fact that I'm sitting here overwhelmed by how much support I'm getting from you, that means something. Genuinely. You being here right now, listening to me, that might be one of the best gifts anyone has given me in a long time. So here's the mission. Plain and simple. Help you build a better life. That's it. That's the whole show. Every episode, I want to give you something real. Not fluff, not theory for theory's sake, actual tools, some of it backed by research because I'm a social worker and I can't help myself. And some of it's just from what I've lived through and what's actually worked. Now, here's how this is going to go. I'm here twice a week, every week, digging into the stuff that you and I both care about. But I don't want this to feel like a show. I'm not doing this in some studio with a teleprompter. I want this to feel like two friends sitting on the couch talking about real life, because that's exactly what it is. And I'm going to be sharing things as I'm learning them and figuring them out myself in real time, messy and all. I'm committed to showing up for you. I just hope you'll show up for yourself too, because we're both out here trying to get better at this life thing. Now, I know a lot of you are brand new, so let me actually introduce myself for a second. Honestly, I hate the question of, so what do you do? Hate it, because the answer is complicated. The short version is my husband and I have spent the better part of the last decade clawing our way out of bankruptcy, like actual bankruptcy, and facing one hard thing after another instead of pretending they weren't there. That's basically been my life's work these past 10 years, alongside building what you're seeing now. But when I try to rattle off a resume or a list of accomplishments, I get weirdly uncomfortable because that's not how I think of myself. I'm just someone who's on the other side of a lot of stuff now. And if I can help you skip some of that pain that I put myself through out of fear of not knowing any better, that's the whole point for me. That's what gets me out of bed. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, how do I actually introduce myself in a way that isn't boring, that actually feels like me? And honestly, I just want to talk to you, like we're hanging out. Picture me on my couch, which I'm doing right now, and you across from me. We're just shooting the breeze about life. That's the vibe I'm going for here. So today, I want you to walk through three simple steps that you can use to create big change in your life. And I mean big. These steps themselves are dead simple, and that's on purpose. Because if it's simple, you'll actually do it. These are the exact three steps that helped me start fixing my marriage, getting my mental health somewhere healthier. And honestly, these are the same three steps that got my family out of a really stressful, busy life in the East Kootenays of BC, where I lived for 38 years, raised my kids, and into a much simpler life in a small town south of Edmonton, Alberta. Using these three steps, I basically rebuilt every part of my life over the last few years, and today I want to hand them straight to you. Now, here's how I think about life, like one long road trip. Your past is behind you in the rearview mirror. Your future is out the windshield. And notice something. The windshield's way bigger than the mirror. That's not an accident. We're not meant to keep staring backward. There's an open road out there. And I actually think every birthday is like a mile marker on that trip. A chance to pull over for a second and think, okay, where do I actually want to go next? And who's in the car with me? I love birthdays. And I bet you do too. And when you really think about what you're celebrating on a birthday, you're celebrating that you're still here, that you exist, that you're breathing. That's wild if you think about it. You're also celebrating everything the next year could still hold for you. Okay, there's one moment on a birthday I want you to really sit with for a second. That moment the cake shows up, candles lit, and everyone's singing. And you go inward. You stop hearing the singing, you close your eyes, you grab a wish out of nowhere, and you blow those candles out like it's actually going to make it come true. And when you open your eyes, you feel present, hopeful, like the year ahead is just full of stuff waiting to happen. Turns out, researchers actually have a name for that. It's called the fresh start effect. When you make that wish, something in you breaks away from your past self, and this window opens where you think bigger and feel more hopeful. And there's some pretty cool research on why. I was reading a study out of Wharton, University of Pennsylvania, on this exact thing, the motivational pull of a fresh start. They looked at these moments in life where we suddenly feel motivated to make a big change, and birthdays are a perfect example. It's like a birthday just hands you a blank page, a clean slate, and that feeling ignites something that's basically hardwired into us. This built in drive to change. We've felt this at other times too, not just birthdays. Think about January 1st. Boom, fresh start effect. One year slams shut, a whole new one opens up. That's literally why everyone and their dog starts a diet or joins a gym on January 1st. It gives your brain a starting line to cross. You feel it at the start of a new school semester, too, or a new sports season. This could be our year, right? You feel it when after a baby's born, after a breakup, after a wedding, even after a death. All these moments where something ends and something else starts. And it's not just physical, it's happening in your head and your spirit too. Researchers actually have a term for these temporal landmarks. Now, let me break that down for you. A temporal landmark is basically a date or an experience or even a physical thing that marks time passing. January 1st is a date. It closes one year, opens another. Your birthday is the same thing. Another mile on the road, and suddenly a whole stretch of new possibilities opens up. A new semester is an experience, new people, new energy, a chance to be slightly different version of yourself. A breakup or a divorce is a huge one because it's not just marking time, it's actually shifting your identity. You go from we to me. But here's the part I actually find fascinating. Temporal landmarks don't just mark time, they open up what's basically a whole new mental accounting period. Kind of like how an accountant closes the books at year end and starts fresh. That moment, January 1st, a Monday, the end of a fiscal year, blowing out candles. It creates this break from your past self. It quiets that judgmental voice in your head, even just for a second. And when that voice shuts up for a minute, you get access to a whole new vision for yourself. So go back to that birthday wish moment. Cake's coming, candles are lit, you go inward. Why? Because mentally, a new accounting period is opening. You stop caring about the singing and start listening to something quieter, something underneath all that noise. Nobody has to tell you to close your eyes. You just do it. You're literally interrupting your old thinking patterns, your old judgment, your old habits just for a second. And in that gap, you make the wish. A wish for what could be. Same thing happens when you sit down at the end of the year and actually write out your real intentions, not the ones you say out loud at a party, the real ones that you scribble in your journal at 11 p.m. Now, here's another one for you. That moment after a really brutal breakup. This one takes a little bit longer, but honestly, you kind of need to cry it out for a month or two first. And then one morning you wake up and go, oh my God, I'm actually happy that's over. I'm better off. And you let go, not just of the relationship, but of the version of you that was clinging to it. And in that moment, that the self judgment eases up and you realize Okay, I'm going to be fine, better than fine. And that's when you actually start rebuilding. These landmarks matter because something real shifts in you in that moment. All the noise, the self criticism, it goes quiet, even briefly, and you get to see a bigger picture. You get to picture your future self. You touch your actual hopes and not the safe, practical ones you usually settle for. You start to believe you're allowed to be happy. And that's honestly what I want for you and me today, right here in episode one. Now let's sit side by side and imagine what's possible in the next year if we just loosen up our grip on our past a little and hold on to what we actually want instead. You don't need a birthday. You don't need January 1st. You can flip the page today, and in a minute, I'll give you the 3 steps. But first, I need to say this clearly. Change is possible, full stop. I don't care what you tell me. I know it's a fact because I've lived it. It's possible for everyone. It's possible for you. If you can picture the new chapter, there's a path to it, and I guarantee you, somebody out there has already walked some version of that path. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Somebody's dealt with exactly what you're dealing with right now. Somebody's built the thing that you want to build. Somebody's healed the relationship or managed the mental health thing or made the move you're scared to make. And if they did, you can do it too. Start looking at people around you as proof, not competition. Practice saying, if they can do it, I can do it. Because someone else's success doesn't take anything away from you. If anything, it's proof that what you want is reachable and that you're capable of reverse engineering how they got there. Now, look, it's not going to look exactly the same for you. You're not starting from the same spot. It might not take the same amount of time, but if you keep telling yourself they can do it, I can do it, your whole mindset starts to shift. There's more than enough success, love, money, and happiness. There's an abundance of it to go around. There's enough for everybody, including you, Mel Robbins, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, whoever your version of that is. If they can do it, I can do it. And so can you. And honestly, I look at some of you the same way because I know there's stuff you've lived through that I haven't. So let's make a deal. We encourage each other through this thing, okay? Now, I know change is possible because I literally just did it. Over the past few years, I've rebuilt basically every single part of my life. And I'm not being dramatic. It's just true. And it wasn't easy. But man, it was worth it. And because I've been through it so recently, I'm sitting here now actually doing well, going after my goals, genuinely happier. I know exactly how to bridge that gap from where you are to where you want to be. Now, later on, I'll walk you through the 3 steps I use so you can steal them from whatever change you're working on this year. Because in those moments where life just knocks the wind out of you, you need 2 things: a little grace first, and then some tough love. You have to remember who you are. You can handle this. There's a Toni Morrison line that I love. If you want to fly, you got to give up the stuff that weighs you down. And man, isn't that the truth? A lot of the time, what weighs me down is literally just my own attitude. I bet you can relate. And I really hate the phrase, it is what it is. No, it isn't. It's what you decide to make of it. There's always something, even something small, you can do to feel a little better. And that little boost in mood matters way more than people give it credit for because it's what actually helps you face whatever's in front of you. Now, there were 3 things I did to turn my life around, and honestly, I still do them now. I believe you're capable of change. I do. I've seen too much proof of it in my own life and with people around me. So I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, Renee, great. But where do I actually start? Okay, let's go into that. Step 1. Make a wish. Same as the birthday moment. Close your eyes and picture your next year. What do you actually want it to look like? That's exactly how I started just a few years ago. My life was a mess. My boys have just been finished diagnosed with autism, both of them. My husband was in deep depression and anxiety and dealing with other health stuff. I was struggling with everything. Honestly, I had to create some kind of break from the pain and let myself see something different. I've already been through bankruptcy and even pre-foreclosure where I was forced to sell my home. So I didn't know yet what the new chapter was going to be, but here's what I did know. I did not want to stay where I was, and that's generally all you need to start. If you know what you don't want, change gets a lot easier because you can start letting go of what isn't working, and once you do, new stuff starts showing up. I made a wish. I found a few small things that made me feel even a little better. I shifted my attitude, and if I can do that, you can too. Here's how it actually breaks down. 1. Self-awareness matters a lot. Recognizing that you feel lost or disconnected or stuck between your old life and whatever's next, or just plain overwhelmed. Whatever it is, name it. Because when you name it, you actually pull it out of your body and into the open. And once it's out there, you can do something about it. 2. Move your body. This is honestly the big one. All that negative emotion is sitting in your body right now, and it's movement that gets it out and shifts your emotional state. So I'll throw on a workout, break a sweat. Does that fix everything? No, but it puts you in a headspace where you can actually think clearly and start seeing options instead of just static. 3. Do one thing that makes you happy. After you've moved your body and your emotional state shifted a little, go do something that genuinely makes you happy. I've been doing a lot of writing lately, just dumping thoughts onto paper. And honestly, journaling is a huge for me when I feel stuck or overwhelmed. And then remind yourself, this is temporary. This moment is temporary. This feeling is temporary. And honestly, that's the kind of point of everything. So is your life, which is maybe why birthdays hit different, because they force you to think about your whole timeline. So, self awareness, move your body, do something that makes you happy, dump it all out on paper, and then remind yourself this won't last and force yourself to start dreaming again. Because when you give up on your dreams, you're basically giving up on yourself. Honestly, that's why I felt lost for most of my life. I'd look ahead and see nothing to look forward to because I hadn't created anything new to look forward to. That's a secret nobody tells you. How you feel right now is basically a reflection of what you can see in your future. If all you see is a blank page and overwhelm, that's exactly how you're going to feel today. So dream big. Put something on that page that's out there in the future calling to you, something to actually go for. That's how you pull yourself out of it. That's literally how I'm pulling myself out of it too, right now. Honestly, because this is where I'm at. And even feeling as low as I sometimes do, I know I have a choice in what I do next, who I'm going to be, what happens after this. So I'm going to push myself to build a future that actually lights me up. And I want to say for you, if you do one thing for me today, dream big. That would mean everything. And when you follow these 3 steps, you're going to be proud of yourself too. I promise. Now, I don't want you just half listening to this in the background. I want you to actually use it. So let's recap real quick. The fresh start effect, temporal landmarks, and how they can crack open a whole new chapter and unlock motivation that's already inside you. Let's build your fresh start right now together. Step 1 again, make a wish. One question. What do you want? What do I want my next year to look like? Step 2. Start taking action that lines up with what you want, no matter how you feel. Stop waiting to feel motivated before you move. The secret is action comes first, because once you're moving, you can keep moving. There's actual research showing that even a small mood boost affects your focus and productivity for the rest of the day. This connects to something called behavioral activation. It's a whole therapy approach, and I'll get into more in future episodes. But here's the short version: act like the person you want to become, no matter how you feel right now. I know that sounds almost too simple, but it's grounded in decades of research and it works. This is literally how I've made every change in my life. I figure out who I want to become, find someone already doing it, and reverse engineer it to how they got there. That's how you build a path, brick by brick and layer by layer, from where you are to where that wish wants to take you. Every morning, take one action that lines up with who you want to be. That's one brick. Keep doing that day after day, and a year from now, you'll look up and realize, whoa, I just built an entire path. Now, step three, find proof that you can do it. It's everywhere. You just have to look. Find people who already have what you want: the relationship, the career, the healthier body, the tight friend group. Whenever you spot someone who's actually made the change you want, let that be proof it's real change. It's real, it exists, and if you're willing to put the work in, it's available to you too. See people as lights on the path, not threats to it. For years, that was not me, by the way. I was the opposite. If a friend was renovating her kitchen, I'd give them that big smile. Oh, it's so pretty. I love the white cabinet. And inside, I was seething, genuinely jealous, because deep down, I believed someone else's happiness or success somehow took something away from mine. It's literally the opposite. Their beautiful kitchen, it means that I can have one too if I put the work in. Their solid relationship means it's possible for me. Their success, it means it's possible for you. Just slipping this one belief is a total game changer. Now, here's the truth of it: there's no ceiling on success, happiness, or fulfillment in the world. You're not in competition with anybody. The only thing that can actually rob you of what you deserve is you. Your excuses, your fear, sitting around waiting to feel motivated. So let's stop that today. Deal? Good, because we're done with that. You're not waiting 6 years to start. You're taking action now. And once you start seeing other people not as blowing out your light, but as lighting the path you're already walking, that changes everything. And don't forget, you're a light on someone else's path too. Whether you realize it or not, you're probably just a step or two ahead of someone. If you've grieved a loss, changed careers, survived heartbreak, sold your family home, reinvented some part of your life, lost weight, lived through depression or trauma, or you're the first in your family to finish school, your life is literal proof to somebody else that it's possible for them too. So, as you're chipping away at your own goals, hold that light up a little higher for the people coming up behind you. Now, okay, let me walk you through these 3 steps one more time because I want to make sure you actually feel how powerful they are. And let me show you how they played out in my own life back when things were pretty dark for me. Step one, make a wish. Ask yourself, what do I actually want my life to look like? And honestly, I couldn't answer that back then. I was sitting in my room crying and I had zero idea. I didn't even know how to fix any of it. And that's okay. You don't need the answer right away. It comes with time. But I did know one thing: I didn't want to keep feeling like that. And that was enough to get me moving. Step two, once you know even one small thing, like I don't want to feel this sad anymore, take action that lines up with that. I wanted to feel a little happier, so I just focused on small stuff I could do. I could do that day to nudge me there. It's not rocket science, but somehow when you actually apply it, it feels like rocket science because it does launch you somewhere new. I just made myself take those small steps toward what I wanted, even on the days I didn't feel like it. And it doesn't work overnight, it works over time. So every single day I got up and did the things that helped, even a little, even reluctantly, exercise, journaling. And I kept sitting with that question: what do I actually want my life to look like? And slowly, day after day, brick by brick, the answers started showing up. I realized that I didn't want to work for somebody else anymore. I didn't want to keep missing out on the time with my kids the way I did with my daughter before she passed. I was working way more than I was present with her. I wanted to reconnect with myself instead of constantly running around meeting everyone else's needs. I wanted room for friends and community again. I didn't want to be the burnt out, chronically busy person anymore. I didn't want to fall asleep with a to-do list running through my head and wake up in a panic about everything I hadn't done. I wanted a simpler life, and honestly, I wanted to be happier. So as you're sitting with the same question, be patient with yourself. As my own picture got clearer, I lined my actions up with it and just started acting like the person I wanted to be. Simplifying meant learning to say no. It meant asking for help instead of white knuckling everything myself. Day by day, my mental health got steadier. I slowed down and I built an actual relationship with myself. I was more present with my kids. And through all of those small shifts, something bigger became obvious. It was time to sell the house in my hometown in BC and move to Alberta, where my two autistic boys could get better support and we could build a simpler life. And once I started saying no and putting what I actually mattered first, suddenly I had space to do the thing I really wanted, which was launch this podcast and start building something from everything I've learned along the way. Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Mary Morrissey, JT Fox, all of it, because I genuinely wanted a deeper connection with you. Brick by brick, layer by layer, I built this path with my actions, and here I am. And if I did it, you can too, which is exactly why step 3 matters so much. Look for the lights on your path. I found people with simpler business models, healthier relationships, doing the things I want to be doing, and I let them light the way instead of intimidating me. I kept telling myself, if they can do it, I can do it. And if you don't have anyone like that in your corner right now, let me be that person for you. If Renee can do it, you can do it. Because it's true. I'm living proof. Big change starts with a tiny wish, like I want to feel happier. And small actions add up to massive transformation over time. And here's the psychological behind it. Because I can't help myself, I'm a social worker. And those small daily moves, just trying to be a bit happier, moving toward the person you actually want to become, they literally reshape what you believe about yourself. Doing the small stuff consistently, especially when you don't feel like it, proves to you that you have a choice in how you feel. And the more you do the small things that help you feel better, the more you actually start feeling better. And as you watch yourself take those little actions, the confidence starts building, the momentum, the pride. That's exactly what happened for me. I'm someone who went through bankruptcy, lost a child, had two kids diagnosed with autism, and was staring down foreclosure, had to sell my vehicle, had to borrow my mom's spare one, lived with serious depression, and had a husband managing his own mental and physical health stuff. And I'm sitting here now building a business and living life on my own terms. not just running myself into the ground trying to make everyone else happy. If I can do it, you can do it. I had to chip away at this one day, one small action at a time. And that's exactly what you're going to do now. Doing the little things every day that line up with who you're becoming. That's the whole secret. It works. Bottom line, you have the power to change your life, period. You have to act like the person you want to become before you actually feel like them. And if I can do it, you can do it. Plain and simple. There's stuff locked inside your heart and your head that's been calling to you. Stop denying it. There are changes you've been wanting to make. Stop putting them off. My whole goal with this episode is for you to walk away with not just believing change is possible, but actually taking a step towards it. Before we wrap up, close your eyes and picture something real for the year ahead. Because yes, you can change, and yes, you can actually take the steps to make it happen. Is it going to happen overnight? Hell no, but it changes over time. And if you can make today a little better, guess what? You can make tomorrow a little better too. Better days build better weeks build better months, and eventually those months lead you right down the road to the life you actually want. You deserve to be happy. And honestly, I believe you're listening to this exact episode right now for a reason. You had a million other podcasts, YouTube videos, or whatever that you could have picked, and you're here with me. Why? Because you needed this reminder that something bigger is meant for you. You've got so much left to do this year, dreams to chase, lives to change, including your own. So stop wasting that energy on stuff that doesn't actually matter. Your past doesn't get to run the show. Who cares if they didn't text back? Who cares if you didn't get that one job? Do you know how many jobs are out there? It's time to zoom out and focus on what you actually want. Now, I get it though. It sucks to work up the courage to ask someone out and you hear no. It sucks to pour months into closing a big deal and watch it go to somebody else. And it's genuinely awful to wake up with depression sitting on your chest, knowing that today's not going to be a kick ass kind of day. I get that completely. So here's what I'll tell you: have a good cry, give yourself a hug, and then dig deep, because I need to remind you of who you are. There is power in you to face this and make it better. You know that. In the moments that you feel like a punch in the gut, that power is still there, waiting. You can create a fresh start. Close your eyes and picture what you want instead of just surviving what's in front of you. On the mornings the weight of the world is sitting on your shoulders, get up anyway. Get dressed, get out the door, and do the things that make you feel even slightly better. Start acting like the person you want to become instead of staying frozen as who you are today. It's only when you start acting before you feel ready that things actually shift. I know it's rough when you deserve the funding or the job or the acceptance letter and your best friend got in instead. But that doesn't set your ceiling. You're going to get back up. You know this is temporary. You know that through your action and your attitude, you can shift where you're at. And you know that you can make yourself feel a little better no matter what's in front of you. Don't argue with me on this one. Every single day, the clock resets. The past is done. The future is still yours to build. There's an open road out there, a blank page, a wish that needs to become real. Today is a gift, and it's on you to decide what to do with it. Is it one day, or is it day one? You decide. With the actions you do today, you can change. And today's the day to prove it to yourself. So go do it. This is not a sit and think podcast. This is a get up off your ass and do podcast. So here's your homework. First, bookmark or save this episode. So the next time that life kicks you down a little, you're going to want some of this back in your ears. I'll remind you who you are and what steps to take. Second, let's actually make the wish. Right after this episode ends, record a voice memo from your future self, like the wish you're making for this year has already come true. Time travel a year ahead. Picture yourself having done the work. Hit the record and talk to yourself right now from that future place. Describe it in detail. What's your day look like? What have you changed? How proud are you of yourself? Want future you to tell present you this was worth it? Now, third, if you got anything out of this episode, please follow or subscribe so these episodes just show up for you automatically. It's honestly one of the biggest ways that you can support this whole thing. And finally, remember what we've talked about, being a light on somebody's path. If someone in your life needs to hear this, send it to them. Find the courage that's already ready inside you. It's in there. You were born with it. When you close your eyes to make that wish and that fresh start feeling kicks in, go big. Don't hold back. Because here's the deal. You've got me now. I'm going to be the light on your path right here twice a week, helping you turn that wish into something real. I'll bring the support, the encouragement, and honestly, I'll be cheering you on the whole way. I've got more tools and techniques coming on my YouTube channel and in my school community too. Why? Why? Because change is hard enough on its own. It's so much easier and honestly way more fun when we can do it together. That's the whole point. I want you to feel connected while you're going after your goals. I want to hold your hand through the ups and the downs because there's no version of this where there aren't hard moments. So let's link arms. Nobody gets left behind. Let's do this whole thing together. And one more thing, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening, for sharing this with the people you care about. In case nobody's told you today, I love you and I believe in you and I believe in your ability to build a life you actually love. All right now, go blow out those candles and make it real. Thank you so much for being here. If you like this one, please hit subscribe and follow because I don't want you missing anything coming up. Thank you for sharing this with your friends and family. I love you guys and make these for you. So make sure you're subscribed.